Hello, welcome writers. Welcome to the writing clinic. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for the group. Thank you for showing up for me. And thank you for showing up for yourself. This is going to be a phenomenal event. It's going to be very thought provoking. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a little bit serious because I'm going to give you some topics to write about that are going to really stretch you. So you may have seen this on social media. This is the actual um, post that I put out on all my different platforms. So if you saw this and you showed up because you thought it was great, excellent. I'm glad you're here because it's going to be amazing. Okay, so we've already done all of our technology. Just remember to keep your microphone closed until the second half. And then I'm going to ask you to share your ideas and your thoughts at the second half once we stop the recording. If you have a burning question, please put your question inside the chat, and Stephanie is going to monitor the chat for me and let me know who has a question so I can answer them. If there's a burning question and you have it right, like immediately, just put it in there and I'll try to answer it as I go. All right, so we already practiced the reactions. If somebody shares something and you love it, give them a love, show them some love, especially if it's something really, really deep, show them some love, right? If you agree with something, clap, clap, clap. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. That'll be for later. All right, so every activity that we do is going to be 5 minutes. So if you have your own timer, set your own timer for 5 minutes and just make sure that you keep me on task because sometimes I lose track of time. So that's going to be important. If you have a timer and you are going to use your timer, drop a little note in the chat that says timer so I know who's helping me out with that. All right, so here's tonight's agenda. I'm going to talk to you about brain dumping, journaling, manifesting. We're going to do several writing prompts. We're going to have 4. We're going to take a 5-minute break. And then we're going to do a read aloud where there's some people that have actually brought writing with them. And I'm going to give them some feedback on what they wrote before class. At the end, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you have questions, write them down, put them in the chat. Again, we're going to monitor the chat. If it's a burning question, then you can just type, hey, this is a burning question. Could you answer it now? And sometimes I will just go ahead and answer it if it's relevant at that point. Okay. All right. So who is your host? Who's your creator? I'm the host and the creator of this particular workshop. I've been doing all kinds of webinars, master classes for years now, but this is the second clinic that I've had, and I'm really loving this because this is giving you the opportunity as the writer to give me feedback and to give me motivation, inspiration, and energy, right? You think I inspire you guys inspire me because I get to read what you write. And a lot of you guys have already been sending me paragraphs. We've been going back and forth over the past couple of weeks. Paragraphs in Facebook Messenger, paragraphs in emails. I was just emailing somebody right before this, and I love it because we should be generating conversations all the time everywhere we go. And so that's one thing that I'm famous for is generating conversations, asking really good questions, and getting people to talk. And so that's one of the things we're going to be doing. I am an author, teacher, book coach, book promoter, and motivational speaker. I have written 8 books myself, published them on Amazon. A couple of them I've moved off of Amazon onto my own platforms because I like to make more money. And we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. If you already have books and you want to make more money, that's one thing that I teach people how to do. I wrote my memoir in 2017. That was the first opportunity for me to be seen by the world. And what happened was people started asking me if I could go speak for their group, if I could go show up at the library, if I could coach them. And so I've been able to do so many amazing things. And it is because I took a leap of faith and I went ahead and wrote my life story, put it out into the world, scared, right? But also curious about what would happen. And so now here I am, 8 books later. I've helped 50 people write their memoirs, and most of them finish in 90 days or less. 60 days or less. I had one client who finished in 20 days. And so my mantra is it doesn't take that long to write a book, boo. You don't need more time. What you need is more focus. And that's what tonight is for. It's for focus. It's for us to sit down and to do some writing. And I have to mute someone. Hey, Joyce, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and mute yourself. If you need me to mute you, I will. There we go. Thank you, Joyce. Welcome. So for those of you that are like, I don't have a book yet, I'm not sure if I even want to do a book right now, you have plenty of time to think about it. Don't stress. Just keep writing. No matter what, never stop writing. Always write. When the book is done, keep writing. Before the book is done, keep writing. Establish the writing muscle. That is the thing that has allowed me to consistently produce like 1 book a year, 2 books a year, book collaborations with other authors. I'm constantly posting. My writing skills have just gotten better and better and better and better. And that's what happens when you practice writing. So that's just a little bit about me. What is a clinic? What is a clinic? A clinic is where you go into a space where you can focus on developing your skills. And there's a coach there who can see the gaps because you don't know what you don't know. And you can't see your gaps, right? So you're always going to need someone outside of yourself to look and see, oh, there's the learning gap. Oh, that's where you need to improve your skills and help you sharpen them and tweak them and fine tune them. So this is a clinic for writers. And I love the word clinic because it means you're coming in and you're getting ready to sharpen your skills. And you're going to leave here with some strategies to help you to continue to grow. And so I love it. I have 3 girls. All of them are athletes. I have one that's an elite athlete. And so we have invested in coaches over the years, club coaches, school coaches, professional coaches, outside of school coaches, because we wanted her to develop her skills and to go to a high level. She's in college now. And so all that work that she did in all those different sports clinics paid off because now she's preparing to go to the Olympics. And so that's what happens when you allow yourself to be in an environment where there are people who can coach you and guide you in the right direction and help you achieve your goals. So just a little bit about a clinic, right? This was the picture that we took from this was just one of the pictures that we took from the last clinic. And it was so much fun, so amazing that I decided to do it again. And it's going to just keep getting better and better. So thank you for showing up. Again, I'm going to push you. I'm going to help you develop your skills. I'm going to definitely challenge you to write better, to use less words, because all words were not created equal, right? Some words are more powerful than others. So when we get to the part where you're sharing with me out loud what you wrote, I'm going to give you some feedback on how to tweak, how to make the statements more powerful, and how to take out some of the baby words and put in some bigger, more powerful words, okay? So here is the first writing prompt. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes for this writing prompt. Number 1, writing prompt number 1. And you might want to write this down. Create a list of 50 negative thoughts. Okay, 50 negative thoughts. And you have 5 minutes to do this. You can either take a picture or you can just write this down. Okay, I'm going to start my timer right now. And if anyone has any questions about what to do with this is not a paragraph. It's not an essay. It's a list of 1 through 50. And if you can't get all the way to 50, don't beat yourself up, okay? It's just an indication as to where you are right now. And I'm gonna teach you something so that you can make your brain work even faster and faster, right? You may only get to 20 or 30 within 5 minutes. So we'll see. All right. The timer is on right now. Go. 5 minutes. Thank you, Stephanie, for writing the prompt inside of the chat. Great job. Keep going. You have 4 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm going to mute Rochelle, and I'm going to mute Pearl. Oh, there, I can't mute Pearl. Pearl, can you mute yourself? Actually, there's two Pearls in here. Check your devices, Pearl. There's one device in here. I don't think it needs to be in here. Oh, okay. One's your phone. Okay. Go ahead and take whichever one you don't need. Or if you want to just keep both devices in here, that's fine with me. As long as they're muted. Okay, you have 3 minutes left, and I'm going to go ahead and mute myself so you guys can think. Kiyoko's like, yes, please. Okay, you have 1 minute and 15 seconds. Keep going. Try to get to 50. If you're done with 50, keep going. Okay, time's up. Okay, I am going to ask for two people to share, and it's the first people that raise their hand with the emoji hand. Okay, so we got Shara and Tariq. Okay, perfect. So Shara, share. Here's what I want to know. How many negative thoughts did you get? And how did you feel? I'm not going to have you share the negative thoughts yet, but how many did you get and how did you feel as you were doing that?
I just got 9 out and it was very heavy. I like I went heavy right away, so
Thank you. Good. It was supposed to be heavy. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Tariq, how many did you get and how did you feel doing that?
23, and I'm trying to keep it gangster because I'm not gonna cry on Zoom.
How did you feel? Tariq?
Oh, sorry. It is liberating because all of these are thoughts that are no longer my thoughts, but these are thoughts that I did have.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, we're gonna keep rolling. I see your hand, Waterfall. I'm gonna call you on the next round. And we're gonna go to the next prompt right now so we can get more prompts. All right, so that was prompt number 1. And let me tell you why I had you do. There's a very specific reason why I choose certain questions. That activity is what I consider to be a brain dump. It's where you take all the negativity of the day and you just dump it on paper. Because a lot of times you go through life and you run into other people. Go ahead and mute yourself, Shara. You you run into other people and their energy and it gets on you and then you start feeling like all anxious and you're like, wait a minute, what is this? Why am I feeling all? And it's because it's someone else. And so every day you take a shower, you brush your teeth. Every day you put on your deodorant, you put on your clothes. You don't put on dirty clothes, right? You don't put on any dirty anything. You refresh yourself every day. That's what you just did right now. You dumped out some of the old stinking thinking. Tariq said it's old. He used to think that way, right? And so that's what you want. You want to dump that stuff out. Your old patterns, your old thoughts, let that stuff go. Because if you're trying to produce a work that other people are going to enjoy, they don't want to get all that garbage that's in your mind that you don't even know is there. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. This is 5 minutes. Number 2, write this down, take a picture of it. Describe a time when you wanted to do something, but fear held you back. Okay. Describe a time when you wanted to do something, but fear held you back. All right. 5 minutes starts right now. I'm checking the chat for questions. This needs to be paragraphs, not a list. Don't do a bulleted list. Explain. You got plenty of time. Go ahead and start now. Okay, you have 4 minutes. Keep going. Go ahead and mute yourself, Jenny. Okay, you have 2 minutes and 45 seconds. You should have at least one paragraph. Okay, we have 1 minute. Steph, if you could send the prompt to the people that are coming in right now. They can't see anything that was typed before they came in.
Okay.
Okay, time's up. Waterfall Adams, you can share what you wrote for this one. Something's happening with your audio. Yeah, we can't hear you at all. Waterfall, we can't hear you. You're gonna have to share later. We're gonna move on to Imani. Yeah, the audio is really bad. Okay, I saw Imani's hand.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfect.
I really wanted to kiss you then, but I didn't know if it was the right time, if it would ever be the right time, because what if the feeling wasn't mutual? I know for you, you're going through a lot. Even though the abuse is over, the after effects still torment you. My kisses may not be the remedy, but maybe even a poke at the blister. Ugh, what do I do with the feelings? What will everyone else think? I don't even know if this is something I really want, if I think about it long enough. So, what part is real? The desire in the moment or the fear of what happens next? Will this change our relationship? What is our relationship? Would a kiss help us define it, or is that just me? If I think about what's best for you, I think about your protection.
Wow. Do you want to give us some context?
Um, yes. So it was kind of hard for me to think about a time um that I wanted to do something, but fear held me back because I tend to do things that I'm afraid of. Um,
That's good.
but I think the most recent thing was I fell for my best friend. Um, and it was scary for me because it's my best friend. And it's also a woman. And she was in an abusive relationship. And so it was just kind of awkward timing because it's like how like I'm supposed to be your best friend and like I've been there through all like the stuff, like I helped you get out of it, like all of these things. But I couldn't really control my feelings either. Like I just she was such like a great person and I was really seeing that, and I feel like the abuse and the stuff that she was going through kind of highlighted how good of a person she was and how she didn't deserve that. So it was just kind of awkward. And kind of what like will it change our relationship? Is this something I really want to do, or am I just thinking about this in the moment now? Is because I'm also a Christian woman, and so that it doesn't really,
Yeah.
so it's this awkward thing. But
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's you kind of flip. I love how you flip the journal prompt a little bit because you're like, well, I'm kind of fearless. So let me just kind of think of something was that like something that was right there in the forefront of your mind? Or did you have to dig?
I had to dig for a second because like there were a few things like I moving leaving my family and moving to New York, but I did that. Like I feel like a lot of things that would be very fearful or like those moments in my life, I still did it. But that I did not do.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. All right, we're going to keep rolling. We're going to go. I think we have two more prompts. On the next prompt, I'm going to ask for two people to share. Okay, you got your pen ready? Okay, so we did a brain dump. That one was journaling, and that was just to kind of get your brain working. All right, here's number 3. You can write this one down. Stephanie, if you could type it in the chat for me. Prompt number 3, who was your childhood role model? Describe their words, behavior, and their mindset. So you're going to have to dig deep on this one because you're really going to have to justify why you chose that person. And you're going to have to go back to your ideas when you were a child. So not your role model today. Who was your role model when you were growing up? And it doesn't have to be positive role model or negative role model. Who was the person that you were modeling your life after? That's the question. So this is not going to be a bulleted list. It's not going to be a list at all. It's going to be paragraphs. Okay, so I will mute myself. 5 minutes starts now.
Coach LT, Jen has a question.
Jen, put your question in the chat because I'm gonna let everybody else have their quiet time. I'm gonna answer you in the chat. Two minutes left. Keep going. Don't stop writing until time's up. Okay, time's up. Put your pen down. Hold your paper up. Let me see what you got. Keep it up. Okay, fabulous. I'm just gonna have one person share. Shantae, can you share what you wrote?
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Okay. My childhood role model was a girl named Tasha. Tasha was a year older than me. She was everything I wish I could be. Unlike me, she lived in a two-story house. She had a mom and dad who were married. She was the oldest of four siblings, which I admired because I was an only child. Unlike me, she got all straight A's. She was very pretty, had pretty hair. She wasn't shy. Her parents had money. She wore the coolest clothes. She could dance. She was popular in school. She was everything I wish I could be. She was my imaginary friend.
How did you feel writing that?
Um, I liked it. I felt good about it. Um, Writing it now as I'm older, it just makes me realize how I just kind of wished, um, I guess that it was a alternative of everything I wished that I would be or could be. Yeah.
That's good. So did you admire her for herself, for her character, or for her circumstances?
All of it. I think her circumstances, the fact that she was smart, the fact that she had friends, the fact that she was um, smart, that she had siblings, just this life that was opposite of mine.
Was she in the same grade as you?
She was a year, she was a year older in a grade older than me.
Okay,
Yes,
cool. Thank you for sharing that.
you're welcome.
All right, y'all, we're gonna keep rolling. All right, here's the last prompt. What was the biggest risk you've ever taken? This could be as a child, as an adult, up to this point in your life. Describe a time, and this can only be one time, one incident where you just were like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Let's just go. All right, so let me start the timer. If you have a question, just pop it in the chat. Okay, 5 minutes starts right now. Okay, you have 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Keep writing all the way until all the time's up. Keep going. You have 1 minute and 3 seconds left. Keep pushing all the way to the end. Ten seconds. Go ahead and finish. Okay, pen up. Let me see your paper and your pen. Okay, fabulous. It is now time for our 5 minute break. So we're gonna shut down our, don't shut down the computer, but just turn off your camera, turn off the sound, go stretch, go to the bathroom, drink some water. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, so that was the end of our 5-minute break. And we have already done the first part of the writing clinic. So we're going to stop the recording in just a second, and I'm going to have a few people share things that they wrote ahead of time. And then I'm going to have people share the things that you wrote here in this space. But this will be after the recording is done. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to take this information that we just did, what we learned, and use it in our regular daily life when we're outside of the class. How can we take these things and build these into our life, because we're so busy. We're working, we have kids, we got pets, we have bills. There's so many things that happen in life that could prevent you from doing this. But what I want you to anchor into your soul right now is, this is self-care. This is more important than going to the spa or getting your nails done, getting your hair done. This is you processing your emotions and cleaning out whatever's in your spirit that's been holding you back for a while. This is how you clear it out, right? If you're like wondering, what's my purpose? What's the meaning of my life? This is how you figure it out. This is the work. When people say, I've been working on myself, I'm really doing great. That's what this is. You're working on yourself. You're digging deep into who you are, and you're pulling information out. And the only way you can get it, the most effective way that you can get clear on who you are, is to write about it. Because then you can see what's in your head and you can say, oh, damn, that's why I feel this way. Because look at what I'm thinking. I didn't even know I was thinking all that stuff. That's why I asked you about your role models, because sometimes role models are neither good nor bad or neutral. It just is. Whoever you looked up to and tried to model yourself after, you probably think how they think. You probably used to dress how they dress, right? You say some of the words that they say. And sometimes those are healthy words and sometimes they're not healthy words. And so you, as an adult person, you are now responsible for reprogramming your mind to put in the stuff that you want. Okay? Because we're not responsible for the things that happened to us and the negativity that was put upon us. There's nothing we can do about that. But now that you're grown, and most of us are grown and on our own, it's our job to put in the good information so that our mind and body and soul can create the transformation, right? If we don't like where we are, we have to change it. And this is how you change it, by getting real clear about where you are right now and where you plan to go. Okay, so that's the end of the first part. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself a high five. You did great with those writing prompts. You wrote. Now we're gonna actually talk about it and share about it and start digging deep and start pulling some stuff up. All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording. For those of you guys that are watching this on the replay, thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully you will be at the next one so that you will get to participate in this part that's not recorded. We're getting ready to get deep into the after part. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next round. And I'm going to stop the recording right now.